Time to ride the funk train. Luke made a great call because we were doing the show for 2 minutes and didn't go live. So
we're not 2 minutes late. We're just 2 minutes again.
We were doing the show, just nobody could see it except for the three of us. And we were awesome. It was the best we ever did.
God, it pretty much was the best. I felt good. Not so much now.
And full frontal nudity on all three of our parts. That'll never happen again.
No.
You got three
parts? Like we touched tips in the 3 screens. It was wonderful.
I've only got 4. I've only got 2 parts. So, Luke, you said your daughter liked this movie.
This is one of her favorite movies. So she says she might even tune in tonight, which is real weird because I love my family, but they do not support anything I do. But I wouldn't either because I am a fucking butt nut. So
that's like son likes your stuff.
Well, Mikey digs our shit, but it's like it's like
only old people know that. You know what I mean?
Well, look at
it's like I played like 300 shows or last year when I was married and my ex-wife didn't go to a single one. I was like, yeah, it's probably when the relationship's over.
Oh man, we're getting into that shit real quick.
That's a good way to start this off.
Hey Brandon, how's your son?
He's an asshole. How's yours?
Oh, he's the best.
Mikey's great.
I hit yours in the face with a drone once. That was great.
Yeah, but Vinny, how's your mom doing?
Don't talk to her. Let's break out the tissue box, the Kleenex and the peroxide spray, and let's just go to town.
All right, yeah. And our 4th window is Travis's dad.
Oh, all right.
Here's Brandon starting already putting things into the camera because that's what that draws the people in, man.
That's full frontal nudity.
Well, we've got some before we get into talking about the VelociPastor, which we're excited to talk about tonight.
Did you go say the VelociPastor?
VelociPastor.
You know what's throwing me off? I didn't know that the word "the" was in the title until today, so now I've got to change it.
Yeah.
It's not just VelociPastor. There's only one, the VelociPastor.
Well, it should have been just VelociPastor. That's you don't need a.
It's like the Batman. So
you could be the Funkmaster V, and then Brandon Bishop can be back in his old wrestling nickname, the Poop Shooter.
Oh yeah, the Poop Shooter.
Yeah,
that works on 2 levels.
It really does. I never worked.
So we're excited today. This week we're finishing the script for Showdown in Secret City, and we're getting everything lined up for our 4th movie in the Smoky Mountain Chronicles. And so all 3 of us are filmmakers, and we help each other make movies. Me and Big Luke are part of Big and Funky.
Yeah, Brandon's got more movies coming out next year than friggin' Marvel does.
That's actually technically true. He's got
and Robert Downey Jr. is in all of them.
Yeah. Say what?
Plays different. Robert Downey Jr. is in all of them, playing different characters.
You couldn't afford him, honey. You got Robert. We got Robert Clowney Sr. is who you got.
I did have this weekend some good feedback from a couple friends that apparently got stoned and watched Vinny's Fantastic Rock and Roll Adventure.
Good way to do it.
And loved it. Yeah, that's what I said. Some movies, like everybody says you got to do acid and watch The Wall, or no, just watch The Wall. It's a great movie. But like
favorite movie,
Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. If you smoke the first time they smoke, it'll take you on the ride with them. Some movies are stoner movies. I have eaten edible and watched WJHCAM, and it was a different movie. I thought there was shit that made, that didn't really even register my brain, that I'm sitting there just rolling on the floor watching. And don't do drugs, kids. But if you do, watch WJHCAM.
Or Vinny's Fantastic Rock. Have you ever eaten an edible and watched Camp Smokey?
No, it's weird. How weird would it be watching yourself for an hour and a half?
The teddy bear scene cartoon stuff would ruin you if you did that.
I would like to see. I'd like to get a report on somebody who watched that animated scene. Hi, Brandon. What's been going on in your world?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good time to ask you that. There.
Yeah, that was good timing, man.
I made a low carb, no sugar zucchini lasagna today, and I made brownies out of avocados and cocoa powder with little eggs in there, and that's fantastic.
So, what's your boyfriend's name?
Billy.
All right.
You lost some weight? You lost some weight yet?
I lost 9 pounds in the last week, and I'm doing okay. Still haven't my back. Here's a funny thing. I just put this gym in the basement, right? And I busted my ass to do it. And then I fell down the stairs carrying a 150-pound air conditioner. And then I basically blew my back out. So I have not been able to touch this beautiful gym that's sitting in the basement right now. It's got all and all that.
So then Jim is your boyfriend.
Jim helped me put it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a guy named Bob down there that lets me punch him in the face and step on his ass neck, and we could jump on piss clams together.
Hey, do you have a
hello?
Oh, do you have a practice dummy to punch and dummy or anything?
Yeah. It's called a Bob. It's called a body something punching bag or whatever.
Yeah,
it's the guy that looks like a dick. You know, he looks like a you know what I'm talking about? Like he's like just ripped dude with no arms. He's face Vladimir.
Dude, that is some of the best cardio and some of the best working muscles that you don't normally work, and stretching is beating the shit out of a dummy.
Really?
Well, funny enough, I did boxing. Oh yeah, I did Tung Sudo, and I did mixed martial arts. Not to mention pro wrestling, like my entire life. So I've always had that kind of stuff, but not for like the last this many years, you know. So, anyways, I'm getting back into the fitness thing. The whole basement is a gym now, and
Tung Sudo, is that where you can flip people with your tongue? Is that
it is?
That is amazing. I'd like to see that. It's like Gene Simmons came up with that, right?
And when you
got a double black tongue, it's pretty awesome.
When you driving to San Diego?
San Diego, a whale's vagina.
Whale's vagina. I've heard about that.
Yeah. I should be making a very, very large payment for a very, very large van tomorrow, and it will be a new house, and it'll be wonderful. And unfortunately, Vinny, unless you want it, Van Helsing's got to go bye-bye, but it's a piece of cinematic history. So if somebody out there wants to buy a piece of cinematic history that will probably need a transmission in the next year, I'll sell it to you cheap.
That's a hell of a sales job. But
the truth, I can't lie to people.
I just had a total get us canceled joke that I
do it.
No,
tell me, and then I'll do it.
We've got girls watching tonight.
Okay,
be careful.
Are they pretty?
Hey, ladies,
they're all pretty.
I have a huge announcement tonight too. So
okay, that's what we're trying to set you up for.
There's freaking Raimi right there, man. He's here.
I didn't see.
We need. Who's the Viper?
Oh, Raimi.
Who's the Viper, man?
It's a secret.
He only says hi to you.
Only hi. Well, people only like Vinny. We are all just we're both Jeromes to his Morris Day.
He's lovable, Vinny.
Well, I put you in a group with 100 people making a movie, and you leave, Brandon. You gotta stand.
I told you when I
gotta be a wallflower.
Message on Facebook, or I get a freaking thing on
the little light that
This was a strobe light today.
Actually having people that cared about you for once.
This little thing on the back here is the best thing that Donald Trump ever did. I saw a picture on Instagram or something of him like looking all creepy on his phone, and I was like, "What's on the back of that? Is that like a Secret Service thing? Like, what is that? Like, is that like a scrambler or something like that?" No, it's a battery that sticks magnets. You can get them on Amazon for $80. Cheap.
That's better than Stormy Daniels.
It's the best thing that Trump has ever done for me personally. Is this right?
Oh,
here.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, this thing's awesome. Like, it just
what's your announcement?
Oh, the big announcement. Are you ready?
Yeah, baby.
I'm getting a new van. No, that's not it. That's a big announcement in my world. The big announcement is Yeah, we're gonna start doing our movies too. You kind of leaked it out a little early, but we got 2 movies that we're gonna be doing, and all those lovely people that you have in that little freaking annoying ass chat room. You're welcome to be a part of it. You know, we got.
Well, I'll put you back in there so you can read.
Vinny's Fantastic Rock and Roll Redemption.
Woo!
I wrote it already, and I laughed as hard as I did with the first one, probably throughout the entire writing of it.
Is Luke in it more?
Luke is very much in it.
Because my favorite. Now I don't want to denigrate anybody that was in that movie. And again, Luke is one of my closest friends, if not my closest friend that I've ever had. However, he was awesome as Luke in that movie, and I'd love to have more.
I do a pretty good job of me.
Yeah, but this is a totally different Luke.
The evil Luke. That's what you should. That was the guy you should have been when you were a heel wrestler. The guy that was just happy, and then all of a sudden incredibly selfish, violent, dangerous, and loud. I think that was so funny.
Luke knows what we're doing, and I think you know a little bit of what we're doing, but he's the same guy. Character comes back, but completely different character. And we're basically doing the exact same thing as the first movie with Luke, but just completely different. Simple.
Yeah, I was told that I could only move forward if I'm doing the helicopter. So that's a mental block I have, that I have to do the helicopter if I want to walk forward.
Well, you tried that with the first movie, but I couldn't get a windbreaker because you're so much.
Yeah, it's just and then the background noise. The background noise is.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like it was like the whole time, and I was like, "Geez, man, I can't do this."
Well, and then you've also got Swipe Wrong, right?
Swipe Wrong is the other movie, so we're going to be casting that really soon. We got about half of that casted already, and that one is just about written. It's like it's written without being on paper. Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
And it's one of the 2 movies that we got coming out next year that we're going to be filming. And I got the brand new camera and all that stuff, which is Netflix quality and all these things. So it's what it is. You know what I mean? They want certain things, and if you want to be on there, you got to do them. And
but the problem is, and you're going to even talk to there's an interview with Louis C.K. where he talks about this. He's like, you record this year with Netflix specifications, they'll change it next year.
Yeah,
and then your movie won't be able to be on it.
It's a gatekeeping thing.
Yeah, Netflix, and we've even had industry people tell us that Netflix does not want independent movies.
I get it, but at the same time,
which is
do what we can. You know what I mean?
Which is why Tuesday Tubi movie night. Why that's why Tubi's the best, because here we go. Tuesday movie night.
Yeah, and Tubi's number 1 right now.
It is.
That
song is number 1 on the chart.
Well, I just got the bill. I get a notification for Netflix, and Netflix is $25 this month.
It used to be $8, man.
$8. You got the porn extra, the extra porn.
No, I'm canceling it. I'm not paying $25, but I never watched Netflix. The last thing I watched on Netflix was that Joe Rogan special, which wasn't funny. I like Joe Rogan, but the special, it wasn't funny.
I don't get him. I'm just not a fan.
He's a great podcast host. He's he's a great MMA commentator. I know he's a comedian, but man, he's
got to stand on it.
He's not a comedian, and that's what he calls himself. He was a good game show host for Fear Factor. He's a great color guy for MMA. His podcast is normally boring unless he's got a great guest because he's too stoned. But he's not a comedian. But anyway, I've heard it's terrible, and I'm not watching it. But there is a good thing. Today, and all the people that behaved, we watched a movie called The VelociPastor, which is a B movie of high renown. And actually, let's pull it up right now, if I can remember how to do this.
Before you do that, real quick, you didn't ask Luke how his day was.
Okay, I did think about that, but I was already in my spiel. How you doing?
You kind of went for it without thinking about Luke. It's okay. I did.
I made some homemade Chicago beef sandwiches, and yes,
hot beef.
Yes,
man,
with melted mozzarella,
peppers, onions.
No, because Mike, I can't eat that shit no more.
Oh, okay.
He can't.
I mean, like
My
people.
favorite place in Chicago is Al's Beef, man. That place is
Al's
amazing.
beef. Al's is the best beef.
Yeah, we filmed that. Actually. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Portillo. Everybody talks about Portillo's. Portillo's is like the McDonald's of Chicago food. You go to
We can get Portillo's down the street here.
Yeah,
It's good. Mikey's up in where is that? Rosemont or where we eat? Mikey's or
Mickey's and Bolingbrook.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mickey's and Bolingbrook has got great gyros, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. So because of the Crohn's disease. Oh God, but don't we love getting old? Hell, our buddy Travis has got gout. I've got Crohn's disease. We get just all sorts of.
Dude, Travis
and
lost 100 pounds and got gout today. And he's in his 30s.
It's always something.
But
Yeah.
But I realized I slipped off of the carnivore diet for one day because me and my son went and watched Wolverine, Deadpool last week. The last time we did the Tuesday Tubi show, and I ate popcorn while I was there, and I lived in hell for a week after just eating popcorn.
Popcorn will kill you, dude. Popcorn is like the worst thing to eat. It really is. If you eat a lot of popcorn at a movie theater, at home, in the microwave, whatever, popcorn will F your A.
But then last Monday I ate something else. I ate pizza spaghetti, and I noticed the next day I felt like shit. And so it's just like my stomach's with the Crohn's, man. I'm just staying carnivore. And today, I made the hot beef sandwiches, but I ate bread, but bread's never really bothered me much. But I got to tell you, I mean, I'm down to like 8% body fat with this carnivore diet, and then if I have to stay on it, cool.
You're going to turn into a toothpick.
But also, hey, if the last time I ever eat popcorn was watching Deadpool and Wolverine with my son, so be it.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie.
No sugar, low carb, high protein. That's what I'm doing, and it's doing okay. Okay, what are we doing here? VelociPastor.
VelociPastor. Now look at this here in the popularity.
Great movie poster.
Excellent. On the popularity, it's in the top 5,000 that's ever been made. And this was made 6 years ago. This is still
ever been made. What do you mean?
Of all time, all movies.
All movies. It's in the top. It's 4,300th in popularity.
Oh God, we're not. Yeah.
60 million.
A lot. All right, so here we go. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At maybe the best English sentence ever written. At first horrified by this new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas. The director, this sounds like something we would have made. Director Brendan Steer, writer Brendan Steer, stars Gregory James Cohen, who now has a career.
Yeah, can you go IMDb that guy and so say the other movies that guy has been in since this? This movie launched a dude.
Yeah. George Swinzer and Janice Young. Of course, the girl's name, I think, like Kapinski.
It's Alyssa Kapinski. Yeah, it's Alyssa Kapinski.
Very good, Luke. I'm proud of you for that.
I know my ladies.
What's the lead actor's name again?
Greg
Cohen.
Greg Cohen. Okay.
Played Pastor Doug Jones.
I don't remember that.
But yeah, what other movies is this guy Greg Cohen been in now? It's crazy.
Group of Negroes was a major one that was released. It wasn't very good. I haven't seen it, but he was in that. Which I mean, that was a release this last year.
Big budget major release movie, even though it bombed hard.
I still need to watch it.
Raimi made a pineapple black olive pizza, just so you know.
Oh,
was it good,
that's a damn good combo, Raimi.
A lot of men up in here, a lot of single men making some good
cuisine. Is that a girl?
Because we don't have women bitching at us about I don't want to eat that.
Well, I had a woman make me dinner, and it was
you put too much pepper in everything.
Oh, pepper's great.
Dude, too much. You can't put too much salt and pepper in something.
I'm not big on salt, but pepper. Oh God.
Well, who wants to break down the movie?
Well, I can start just with a couple little caveats. For one, this is as crazy as that description sound. This essentially is a love story between a hooker and a vigilante pastor who can turn into a dinosaur. And just
you don't really have to do anything else now. You can just leave it there. I mean, it's
I can leave it there and we're good. But this essentially the the description on IMDb there pretty much, tells you what the movie's about, and you can figure it out. There's some twists and turns. This movie is much smarter than it has any right being. It's like there's no gags, but there's great jokes. But they're not gaggy. They just they play through the dialogue. There's great dialogue. I will give it to Brendan Steer, that the writer and director, that he put a well together movie. Only $36,000.
I still don't know how people spend
How much my band cost.
Yeah, but I mean, we put together movies for cheaper, but I think what is fantastic? Probably about $30,000.
No, 12
maybe
between gas and all that.
I'd
yeah,
say
I spent
tops.
a pretty penny. I know Brandon did too. 12, 13. But
Right.
that still was way cheaper, and we went all across the country. And these mother effers in VelociPastor, they use the same woods as China as they did for Vietnam.
Dude, did you notice that China, it's still 1862 in China, where people still wear Wing Chun costumes, out while they're shooting each other with ancient arrows out in the woods. I thought that Alyssa Kopinski was great. Her acting was perfectly cheesy through most of the part. By the end, she somehow is a kick-ass fighter that wears a bodysuit. Yeah. And then, but I think the real star of this movie, besides, the director and writer, is definitely Greg Cohen, who plays Pastor Doug Jones. This guy 100% sold out for this role. He was all in on this movie. He, didn't, and easily at times could have overacted, just pushed it a little further to the point of it's too much, but he got the perfect amount of, all right, you're about to take it too far. And then he didn't. He pulled. So I thought it was. Now the opening scene is a sermon, and I thought the camera work on it was great.
The slide work past the pews.
I think being filmmakers ourselves, I knew all three of us noticed the slide work. That was the first thing we noticed. The missing visual effects thing was what to me that did is, they had a scene where his parents die and they get blown up in a car, and it just flashes to where their car used to be, and it says on the screen, visual FX burning car. They didn't put it in, but what that did in my brain is told me what kind of movie this is going to be.
And the guy it cut back to the guy screaming like his parents just exploded in front of him, and it would go back and show video effects, a car exploded, and go back to him losing his mind. It was hilarious.
I thought it reminded me, and here's the thing, the funny thing is it didn't take away anything from the movie.
No,
but that kind of reminded me of like I'm gonna get you sucker type of thing, and had a little bit of a Napoleon Dynamite feel to it as well. Just the going over there and the parents are like, I love stuff like that, but keep going. But I was just gonna say it didn't take away from the movie.
I did like the opening credits. The song was stupid. It was perfectly heavy metal, stupid, which I enjoyed. When I say things like stupid, if I think something sucks, I'm going to say it sucks or it's shitty. If I say stupid, I liked it. All right. Again, apparently it's still 1862 in China. There was an awkward priest hug where I thought that was going to be the storyline. When he first meets the hooker and the hooker the priest sees the hooker and the pastor together, I thought that was going to be the conflict. I thought that the priest was going to try to break them up because he was in love with the hooker. But
it's funny that's the first thing that the three of us thought, that the priest was going to be a creepy pedophile type of guy.
Yeah, but he ended up kind of being a hero. So, but then the pimp comes in. This is kind of my complaint about the movie, but not also kind of not. The pimp was in the realm of the old man hello kitties character. He was too over the top. And his fatal mistake, where I think maybe subconsciously even Vinny hated this guy at this point, is because he pimp slapped the girl with the front of his hand.
Oh, yeah.
You never pimp slap somebody with the front of your hand. It's the back of the hand. That's a pimp slap. That's how you pimp slap.
I never noticed I had old wrestler hands. When did that happen?
You look like
it just happens. But I will say that the pimp, whose name is Frankie Mermaid because he's drowning in pussy, I will say he had one of my favorite lines that I'm going to steal. And he said, Frankie Mermaid smokes where he wants because his life is on fire.
Oh, man.
So that's going to...
professional, too.
Yeah, that's where he said it.
Yeah.
But then we get to the point where, this guy's... The pastor is, gone to China because he was trying to find faith again, and he got a tooth of a velociraptor that turned him into the VelociPastor. Now, I was worried when I saw that there was $36,000 budget that we were going to get digital effects that were horrible, and we didn't. All right, we did not. What we got was a suit that almost looked like a furry suit, and I loved it. It looked so terrible. Then, like, the first thing he does when he becomes he saves the hooker, and he knocks a guy's head off, and it's so obviously a mannequin head covered with blood rolling. I was like, I'm smiling. I'm like, this is it. I'm loving it. This is no shame right here. No shame in his game. And then he wakes up in bed with the hooker, and I think they do one of the better jokes where he wakes up naked in bed, and the hooker comes out of the bathroom, and he thought they had sex. So they're starting having a miscommunication where he's talking about sex and she's talking about him turning into a raptor and killing somebody. And she goes, yes, it was scary. And it was weird. And I think I peed my pants. And he goes, yeah, it was weird for me too. I've never had sex, but it's a good joke how that, the miscommunication. Yeah. And then she takes him to show the body, and this is one of my favorite. This is where this Greg Cohen made me just love him. It was the hooker takes him to see where the body was, but he was naked, didn't have any clothes, so he wore this orange sweater dress, and they have this whole dramatic scene where he's wearing an orange sweater dress, and I again, most of this movie I'm smiling my ass off through.
Yep.
And then they get back, and he says they have this dialogue most people think this is stupid. I think it's brilliant. She says, they're trying to decide they're going to become a team, and they're going to team up and fight crime. And she says, well, I don't know much about God. And he just looks serious at the camera and goes, well, I don't know much about dinosaurs.
Dude, I got to tell you, that was the moment that I loved the movie, because she delivered that line so perfectly. She says, I don't know a lot about God. I don't know a lot about dinosaurs. I died. I thought that was great, man. That was good.
I thought that the fact that, then they go into his montage, and it turns out that, he's going to be a vigilante for God, and he's only going to kill bad people with his, he's only going to kill bad people, and he gets leads on who to kill from the confessional booth. How brilliant is that?
It's good.
I mean, that's something they missed. And then might be Vinny's favorite line in the movie, when the VelociPastor is trying to tell the priest about his affliction, and he says to the priest, he goes, what if I told you I was different? And the priest just goes, oh, you're not that different. There's plenty of men like you in the church.
Great throwaway line. That was a sidearm across the plate that could have got by you.
And it was a great joke, but it wasn't told jokey like. It was told in flow of conversation.
Yeah.
Then we find out that there's ninjas.
Great.
The ninjas are trying to come in, and then I'm skipping some stuff, but
that had to be. What else can we do in this movie?
Exactly.
but then they had a Ang Lee Hulk's montage from the movie The Hulk of when they had sex. That was the best thing they could have possibly done. Was the Ang Lee? The Ang Lee montage. If you watch the movie Ang Lee's Hulk, it looked just like.
I thought the sex montage was good.
I loved it.
B movie. It's not supposed to be. It was like kind of classy in a way. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and it was at about this time. And then afterwards there was a ninja bedroom fight scene that was fucking great. Ninjas just pound in through all pile in through the windows, and they beat the shit out of them, and it was great. At this point, I'll let somebody else take it over because I stopped taking notes because I was enjoying the movie so much.
I want to pick up. There's a part of the movie you skip, and I'll just hit. I've deleted.
Well, hold on. There is one thing I left off because it was my favorite part. Not just favorite part of this movie, but probably the favorite part of most movies. The one thing that happened set this movie apart for me. And it's going to be a memorable thing that I will remember for the rest of my life about this movie. But I'll let you go.
All right. I just a couple things that you missed, and I didn't know. I won't. You said so many things I was going to say, but atheists can't write sermons. Every time there's like an atheist that writes a sermon for a movie that's just a terrible sermon.
Excuse me. I remember a prostitute scene in Vinnie's Fantastic Rock and Roll Adventure.
Terrible.
You're out of your freaking mind. That was spiritual and beautiful.
You guys don't understand God. It's just now. I thought the song in the car shot looked and we're going back to the credits. The car shot looked like Quentin Tarantino-esque.
That's what I was thinking too. It was like that 70s grindhouse.
Yes, and I thought the song was good. Now they did a really cool shot. Do you guys remember when they were having a conversation between the priests, and they had the hero on the right and he was red, and the guy was green.
Yeah,
and they were talking. I thought that was really cool too. Like there were some really good shots in this movie for a B movie. The only problem is they had the hero on the side where he had these two giant fucking moles. Right?
Yeah,
I'm like, you should have put him on the other side to kayfabe moles.
Dear Greg Cohen, you might want to get those looked at.
Get those lasered off. Yeah. And then we noticed that he drove to China. That was the thing too.
Yeah,
in the whole opening credits, he was driving, ended up in China.
Maybe he took a ferry. He could have taken a ferry.
When the girl came with the Velociraptor tooth, she fell down with an arrow through her fucking heart, and he says,
"Are you okay?
Are you okay?"
He reminded me of Vinny walking through a tunnel walking through a cave chasing candy. Are you okay? Hey, come here. Hey, what are you doing?
The pimp was stupid. I hated that guy. The girl looks like Ariel Crawford, who is in Vinnie's Fantastic Rock and Roll Adventure, which is a friend of Brandon's.
You think so?
Feed of Fever, Starve of Cold is completely wrong. They got that line completely wrong. And the pastor's eyes look great when he's turning into a velociraptor. I'm sure it was just context, but it looked good. I'm glad the pimp died, but the storytelling device, this is the thing. Now, this is something real. I thought the bad guy of the movie should have been the pimp, and they killed him off way early, and I was like, that's a mistake. I later was wrong. That was the right time to kill the pimp, because I didn't like him anyway. I like the bad guy a lot better. There
was a much better conspiracy afoot.
Yes. The training montage is great because he was doing sit-ups with his prayer hands, and that's just the kind of clever fucking joke. And then we had the flashback where the priest goes back to when he was fighting in Vietnam, and they didn't bother at all to make him look any younger, except they strapped on a helmet with a blonde wig, and they're sitting there going, "Let me see your girlfriend." And he shows him this woman who's obviously in her 60s, and the guy's like, "Wow, she's hot." It's the same age-appropriate actor, an actress, and the guy was like this weird fucking thing about teach him how to smile like me. Like me. Tell him how to smile like me, like this. I smile a lot. And then he gets killed. And then that's a horrible thing. And then for some reason, the priest, when he was a soldier's fiance, is there in the Vietnam woods.
Yeah, she's there in Vietnam now.
And she's like, hi. And they're like, Adeline. He runs up, kaboom, blood splatter everywhere. Great effect, by the way, covered in blood. And the soldiers even were like, what was she doing here in the woods? And then one guy was like, she probably wanted to start a family. And just to kind of turn the knife into the priest, it was pretty fucking hilarious. Chinese woods is the same as the Vietnam woods. I thought that was kind of funny. They use a war quote from Fallout. I love the ninja when the three ninjas are trying to kill the Velociraptor and they start doing backyard football plays. And he's like, you go over here, and then you come over here, and then the one is like distracted. That was pretty funny.
Okay, that is the point. That was it right there. Three ninjas discussing their battle plan, and then one starts having an existential crisis with inner monologue and flashbacks for no reason. It's my favorite thing that's happened. It was so stupid and pointless that I fell out. I was like, I love that scene. That is something, if I were making I do make movies, I would put in there just for no reason. One character just starts having an existential crisis. It's fucking amazing.
The artsy fartsy love scene I thought was great. In the third act, we found out that the bad guys are Christian ninjas trying to get the city addicted to ultra cocaine, so they can control the drug trade and then pull it off the streets, so people will have to go to church to find God and get help off. To get help to get off drugs. That's the best bad guy shtick I've ever heard. In the final part, I'm almost done. I only got 3 more notes. In the final part where the dinosaur was fighting all the ninjas, I don't know if you noticed, but the suit was ripping apart during the fight scene, which I thought was fucking hilarious. There was a Gandhi quote over. There was a Gandhi quote over when the dinosaur priest rips the head off the other Christian ninja. That was a fucking Gandhi quote. I about pissed my pants. And it was such a racist looking mannequin head. It was like the generic bald Asian man head. And then when they went back and they were trying to fix the girlfriend up and the doctor was smoking flamboyantly, I about just peed my pants at that point. So that's pretty much all my notes.
But you know, she's fine.
Yeah, and that's at the end. Come here. I'm fine.
Are you okay? Are you fine?
I'm fine. What you got to say there, sleepy man?
Not that sleepy, actually. I'm pretty good. Of course, I do outside research. I don't just watch the movie. I go above and beyond, like always.
All right, smoke break.
Do it. This is for the thousands of people in attendance, you know. So I wanted to know more about the elements of this movie, but just from title alone. So while pastors and velociraptors are vastly different in nature, one being a spiritual leader and the other being an extinct dinosaur, there are some playful and metaphorical similarities that could be drawn. So first of all, what do they have in common, velociraptors and pastors? Guidance and leadership. Just as velociraptors may have led packs of that hunt to have strategies, and when they hunt, pastors guide and lead their congregations, offering spiritual direction and support.
Clever girl.
Number 2, protective roles. Velociraptors were likely protective of their territory or group, similar to how pastors protect their own flock, their congregation. Group dynamic.
Did you put this in an AI?
Yeah, absolutely. Group dynamics. They both operate with in groups. Velociraptors like to hunt, and then you can't keep the lights on in the church without a congregation and all that stuff, or the church community. Vigilance. Velociraptors were known for their keen senses and strategic thinking, much like how pastors must be vigilant and thoughtful in addressing the needs of their congregation. So influence. Velociraptors, despite their size, they were not that big, believe it or not. Velociraptors, were not as big as this movie So that's a major negative point.
Yeah, they're only like 18 to 24 inches tall.
They're chickens basically with teeth.
Yeah.
But
right?
yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
They were showing T-Rexes in this movie. That's not it. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Despite their size, they were but they were still very influential predators in their environment, similar to how pastures are. Can't say.
Did the AI say this?
No, I made that last one.
Okay, I thought so.
They're both.
I was like, the robot has gone out of control.
All right, we got to shut down AI. All right.
Okay. Anyway,
Showdown in Secret City.
Yeah, they're both predators. The movie. There's something very. What was the guy's name again? I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting. The lead guy.
Greg Cohen, Doug.
Greg Cohen. I'm just
Dexter,
going to call him
poor man's
Greg. I
Dexter.
like the name Greg. There's something very, very attractive about him, and I'd like to know him. Maybe hang out. I love the missing FX scene. I thought that was an ingenious idea. It didn't take away from the movie, like I said earlier, and probably saved them thousands of dollars.
Right.
I want to know where they found a church that would let them film in there.
Yeah. We're in the. Me and Vinny are in the South. We can't even get a church that's been abandoned for 100 years. That people won't let us film in there.
There you go. I think the two things, and one of them they can't have, but I think the two things this movie really needed, not with that budget, of course, but would be one of the Zucker brothers and a little Leslie Nielsen. I think Leslie Nielsen in that main role, no matter how good Greg was, I think Leslie Nielsen in that role would have been.
Well, they would have had to have dug him up because I think he was dead by then, right?
No, he's very, very much dead. But I'm just saying they would have been great to have a Leslie Nielsen, which this guy was, doing an impersonation of Leslie Nielsen, which was good. But they could have used the Zucker brother for a reference in there. That would have been nice. I think the pimp brought the movie down to an independent level.
Oh,
I couldn't stand it. I didn't. He had some good lines, but he
acted like everybody else in all these fucking movies we've watched. The comic relief that's irritating and not funny. That's exactly what he was.
Yeah, I just thought it brought the movie down to a different, cheaper level. I didn't like it.
Absolutely. I amen to that.
Now, I wonder, did they make the movie first with the movie idea, or did they have a dinosaur head and some arms, and they were looking at it going, we need to do something with this stupid dinosaur. We paid a lot of money for this paper mache dinosaur. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the dinosaur. So it's like
now, the director and writer Brennan Steer is he's on Twitter at the VelociPastor. I think this might have been inspired by the uptick in fame around that time of Chuck Tingle. If you don't know who Chuck Tingle is, he is a homoerotic author that writes books about interspecies homosexual relationships with inanimate objects and dinosaurs. So I think this, and his number, he was nominated for a Hugo Award for a book called "Pounded in the Butt" by my book "Pounded in the Butt." And if you just Google search Chuck Tingle and hit images and see the covers of his books, Chuck Tingle just did was in Nashville and did a Q&A session to over 5,000 people. So I'm thinking that this might have been inspired slightly by Chuck Tingle.
That's a great thought.
I will say that I really enjoyed the workout montage. I may have watched it 2 or 3 times just for the angles, just to see how it was done. The orange jumpsuit, you said?
Yeah, the orange sweater dress.
Yeah, that was
dude. Hey, I'll tell you this: Greg is packing.
No, I just there's something about that guy. Anyway.
Greg's got some weenie on him, man. Did you see?
He's like a French pole vaulter.
I love the wholesome sexual tension between the two of them.
When Greg went running away in the orange dress, and he's like running all serious through the woods in the orange dress, I was rolling.
He would have lost the pole vaulting competition as well. Absolutely.
Yes.
I love the wholesome sexual attraction between the two of them. I thought that was cute. I imagine he's the actor himself. I imagine he's a very generous lover and probably real gentle. Probably smells really nice.
I would say sandalwood and lavender.
I like it when the guy in Vietnam was talking about van life. That makes me happy because more people need to talk about it because we're all going to be living in vans probably in 20 years.
Electric fans.
I don't wear underwear, but if I did, I hope I looked as good as he did in those little briefs there. They fit him really nicely before that ninja fight in the bedroom, and I think, I got some screenshots from this movie. It's pretty good.
I'm glad.
And that's all I got. That's all I got. I just wanted to make sure that. Does he have an IMDb page, or is it like a Facebook or something I can look up?
You can find his agent on IMDb.
No, I don't need no agent. I just want. You got like a YouTube page I can see with videos.
All right, guys. It sounds like we all enjoyed it. Brandon might have enjoyed it in different ways.
What?
I'm starting to think that this was inspired by Chuck Tingle, and Brandon is a fan.
I think this is we've been doing this since the beginning of the year. Is that him?
That's Luke back in the day.
That is me back in the day.
That's beautiful. I think
it just popped up for some reason.
I think this movie we've been doing this since like February, I think, or March, but this show or this, whatever we call this, I think this is the perfect B movie. And this is what I thought all B movies were going to be like. The only thing I'll knock about this movie is like 15% of the movie, the dialogue absolutely sucked like all these other B movies, but 85% of it was fantastic. Good comedic timing. You didn't have, besides the pimp, stupid over-the-top characters. We didn't even mention the brother that came up, and then they showed him at the end like he was in the back seat of the trunk.
Made no sense.
Nobody in the family ever mentioned him, and he was like, he wasn't.
But they kept doing the Austin Powers laughing scene with him and the amazingly well acted Chinese ninja guy.
I didn't think that was funny, but I did think the Chinese, or whatever he was, I guess he was from China. The Chinese guy was freaking great. But if they could have polished up the dialogue, this would have been a perfect movie, man. I mean, it was 110 minutes. It's brisk. It's a joke, so we don't need to be here for 3 hours.
No, it's an hour and 10 minutes. It's an hour and 70 minutes long.
Yeah, didn't I say an hour and 10 minutes? Or
you said 110.
Oh, that's what I meant. An hour and 10 minutes. Yeah. You're right. So we rate this, me and Luke, B to F, because there are no A's in B movies. This is close. B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give this one a solid freaking B. That's probably my highest. This is the highest rating I've given anything. And we had a couple movies that had big budgets. This one did not have a huge budget. This was more of a micro budget movie. So hats off, because I do think this is better than Zombievers, and I do think it's better than what was the other one that was a big one?
Don't Fuck in the Woods. Don't Fuck in the Woods.
Recently.
Sofa King or Killer Sofa.
No, not after. So, well, one was like a $500,000 movie. Whatever, one of those.
Oh, Grave Encounters. Grave Encounters.
Grave Encounters. That's right. Those two were very good. This was better than those two. Luke, since you grade like I do, what do you say?
I also think that this movie should be what other B movie makers like ourselves should strive for. This is, I mean, obviously it's not, it's a horror comedy. We're in the horror comedy genre. It's not a great horror movie. Don't go in for it for horror movie, but it is a great horror, kind of horror comedy. I think that it was smarter, way smarter than I thought it was going to be. Like I said, the jokes weren't gaggy jokes. They were part of the dialogue, which I thought reminded me very much of our movie WJCAM, where we don't go out of you don't go out of your way to make a joke. You just make the joke, and let it be part of the dialogue, let it flow. And I also thought, instead of, they would hit a punchline, but just keep the conversation going instead of letting a lot of times in these movies, they hit a punchline and that's the end of the dialogue. Don't do that. Don't let the punchline be the end of the dialogue. I thought the camera work was pretty good, pretty solid. The audio mixing was very good. And I thought, like I said, I think Melissa Kempinski was beautiful. She was perfect for a B movie role. I don't think she could I don't think she could step any higher. I think that B movies she should try to do more. Greg Cohen, hero of this movie.
God.
He has gone on to bigger things.
Oh,
and speaking of bigger things,
French pole
but no, he, like I said, he sold out for this movie. He went 100% in, and he knew when he was at his peak and didn't go past it. The other MVP of this is Brendan Steer, who wrote it and directed it. He does have, he's a good looking dude, man. He does have another movie. Brendan Steer did write and direct another movie that is on Tubi from 2013 called Animosity, which I'm going to watch after we're done with this. But it's 4 years earlier. I am going to go do something unprecedented with my ratings. It's an A.
You can't do that. It's against the law.
It's an A. Yeah, I'm breaking the rules. This movie gets an A from me. I thought it was a damn near perfect B movie.
Yeah, that's a poor man's Dexter. I can't remember who played Dexter.
He looks a little like Dexter, and he also looks like a little like Siler from Heroes. Like Siler from Heroes. Who was he also played Spock in there too. Well, he played Spock on Star Trek.
He's also like a low rent kind of supernatural. All right.
No, I think this guy is he's like a lower tier Ryan Reynolds. Like if you saw the comic timing of Ryan Reynolds in his first movies like Van Wilder and stuff, this guy has that timing.
Do me a favor, Luke. Never mention this guy and Ryan Reynolds in the same sentence again. At least not while I'm wearing pants. I'm not gay, but I'll get there.
What would you like to say about this movie? What would you like to rate it?
Well, I rate it a little separately because I'm an asshole. That's right. I'm a freaking asshole. I rate it either from a T, a U, a B, or an I. T is terrific. U is underestimated. B is bad, just bad. And I is impossible to watch. This was a laugh every 3 minutes type of movie for me. The rest I was really bored with. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not stay interested in this movie at all, not till the end. The lead actor Greg Cohen is a smoke show.
Raimi says it perfectly. Eli Roth. He looks like Eli Roth.
Okay.
The Bear Jew.
I'm going to give it it's not underestimated because everybody likes it. So how can you say something's underestimated? So I didn't think it was terrific. I'm not going to say bad, just bad. So I'm going to be like a bad and a half. Does that make any sense?
Just give it a U.
I'm going to give it between a U and I'm going to give it an UB.
None of this break it. You guys are both breaking the rules.
Because this movie was more than it should have been. It's more
rebels, Scotty.
He thinks it's an UB, but you're giving it an A.
It's a UB. I didn't like it as much as you guys did. I just thought it was boring.
Dude, I smiled.
I like our movies more than this, and I mean that. Not just
I think
they're in them and did them, but I
like our movies too.
I like WJHC more than this movie by far, and that was done on a $200 budget. What?
We can't say that we like our movies better than these. I'm
not in your movie. I did nothing for WJHC except for some titles.
Yes, you did.
I just did titles. That's all.
I did. We never watched this movie before. None of us watched this movie before this week, but oddly, I did see a lot of parallels between this movie and WJHC. It had a lot of the same vibe, a lot of the same spirit, a lot of the same humor, a lot of the same depth, a lot of the same brains. This is a movie that I think we would have made.
I would give Greg Cohen a Brandon. I'll tell you that much.
All right, guys. Well, everybody that watched, thank you. We had a pretty good crowd tonight. Hopefully this will continue. I think
Go ahead, Raimi. Aren't we going to pick another movie for next week? We got 6 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Shit, I forgot. Yes.
All right.
Hey, no. Stop where you're at. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. I look funny, but you all making money. See, it's the whole world. I hope you're ready for me to gather around. I'm the new fool in town, and my sounds laid down by the underground. I'll drink up all the Hennessy you got in your shelves. So just let me introduce the next movie next week, okay? It's my turn. I haven't done the last 4 since freaking Sofa's shit. And you know what? I am letting ChatGPT pick it for us. I said I wanted 20 silly and low-budget movies released after 2016, currently available on Tubi. Number 1, VelociPastor. I don't think that's it. Number 2, Bad CGI Sharks. I don't know what that is. It's 2019, a self-aware comedy that pokes fun at the absurdity.
Well, hold on. Let me. We got time.
More to go here, and
hold on. We got time. Let me pull up my Tubi app. And what is it called? Bad CGI Sharks.
I'm giving you the Bad CGI Sharks. I don't know if you should look up that one, but
okay, because I don't want to watch that.
There's also Ouija Shark. Shark. Now the next one is something I'm very, very interested in, and I may just watch it tonight. Clownado.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's horrible, and maybe we should do it.
Snake Out of Compton. Come on.
I love that because I'm part black.
Aqua Slash. We already seen. Did we already watch Alamageddon? Didn't we?
Dude, there is a whole mess of clown movies.
Attack of the Killer Donuts. We already did. Tsunami, a disaster horror film where a tsunami brings a swarm of giant killer bees. Space Babes from Outer Space. This says space in the title twice, so that's got to be funny.
No, we're doing Clownado. We're doing Clownado.
Is that
a stripper. Hold on.
Let me finish this one sentence, and then it's all yours.
All right.
Monster Force Zero. Okay, that movie has my ex-girlfriend Aeon in it. And I've seen it twice, and it's also got freaking Pat Tanaka in it. The wrestler Pat Tanaka, who lived in my basement for 2 months and stole thousands of dollars from me.
I was about to say, did you know he was there?
He did crack in my basement too. He's a piece of shit.
Him, I don't want to watch that one.
No, but I don't think it's good enough. Everybody's good in it. I got friends in it and stuff, but I don't think it's good enough to waste our time on, unless we start getting really
well, we're going to be doing this for a while, so
but we got, I think, Snake Out of Compton or Clownzilla are my 2 picks.
Okay, Clownado. We're doing this one.
Clownado, my bad.
Okay, listen.
Clownzilla's available then. We should do that.
2019 comedy horror. A stripper, truck driver, Elvis impersonator, teen runaway, and a dude battle demonic circus clowns set loose. No, and a dude. Battle demonic circus clowns set loose on a vengeful massacre using tornadoes. Yes, I'm in.
Who's using the tornadoes? The good guys or the clowns?
The clowns.
Oh, okay. I thought
that sentence doesn't make sense. It should just end right there. This is a stripper, truck driver, Elvis impersonator, teen runaway, and a dude battle demonic circus clowns. It should end there, because then it doesn't make any sense.
I like it. But if the good guys use the tornadoes, that would have been great.
And Ellen Dietz is in it. I don't know who Eileen Dietz is, but I mean, she's in it.
I'm sure.
Let's see.
Is Greg Cohen in it?
No, there's no Greg Cohen.
No,
but it's got John O'Hara.
What other movies is Greg Cohen in?
Something the League of
the Magical School of Magical Negroes.
Really, I'm in. No, it's Clownado. Can you look up Snake Out of Compton? Because I just want to know what it's all about. Maybe we'll do that one in 2 weeks. ChatGPT is awesome, by the way. I don't know if you're hip to.
Well, don't you have to pay like $18 a month for that?
If you're dumb, yeah.
Snake.
Have you ever searched your cell phone ChatGPT? It's interesting.
Yeah. No, you just do that in that Meta AI and all right. Snake Out of Compton. Oh, this looks fucking awful. A rap group on the verge of signing their first record deal is the city's only hope in a battle with a giant mutating snake monster.
I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know if that's funny enough to.
What
last
show
an
are
hour
we
and a half.
doing right now? That sounds perfect for what we do. Down the road. Down the road.
Down the road, yes.
Rectuma. An American man infected by a Mexican butt-humping frog returns to Los Angeles, where his rear end grows to 20 feet and frames him for murders.
So that's going to be in 2 weeks after.
Okay, so Brandon, write that down, Brandon. Rectuma.
Oh God!
Write it down.
I don't want that in my laptop anywhere.
All right, I'm writing it down in ink. We're gonna go in ink here.
You're gonna
I
bust
hope
down
you
my
don't
door.
get arrested on a domestic this week and say, "What does this mean?"
What does Rectuma mean?
I'm watching Clownado tonight, just so you know. I'm not going to take notes, but I'll watch it again.
So his butt frames him for murder?
Yep.
Jesus Christ! It's gonna be so great, greatly bad.
That's fucking great.
That
right,
came
guys.
out. Well, hold on. That came out in 2003.
That's back before sense of humor was invented.
Yeah, that's back when things, when we were still watching Forrest Gump.
Everybody was watching CNN for those 2 years.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's true. That's kind of way to bring it down. We struggle with pace this episode.
Hey, never forget,
Thanks
we
for
forgot.
watching. Make sure you watch
Never
Vinnie's
forget
Fantastic
Greg
Rock and
Cohen.
Roll Adventure, Camp Smokey. Watch WJHCAM, The Hike, and we got new movies coming out too.
And if you have a Roku TV, search Camp Smokey and you'll find it. Unfortunately, it's still not on Tubi.
Are we doing plugs? Is that what we're doing?
Kind of.
I'm saying goodbye. What do you got?
I just got one plug. That's all. Just look up Greg Cohen on Instagram. There's no Greg. Oh, there he is, but he doesn't have a little blue check. Even Candy Thompson has a little blue check. That's weird.
She pays for it.
That's.
I shouldn't have said that out loud.
And then
Everybody pays for the blue check.
If you need a headshot from Greg Cohen, let me know where you find it.
All right, guys. God bless you. Thanks for watching tonight. We had a pretty good group, so take care.